Getaway Black Monday is a third-person shooter developed by Sony Computer Entertainment London and was released for the PS2 in November of 2004. This action-adventure game is a sequel to the 2002 title The Getaway, a game that received a lot of hype at the time and was positioned as a sort of GTA but in London. Black Monday is a very much the straight-to-DVD equivalent and much lesser-known sequel. Where the first Getaway focused on the life of crime, the narrative of Black Monday is told from the perspective of law enforcement in the same city. Our main protagonist is Ben Mitchell, a police sergeant that has returned to the force after a year's suspension for accidentally killing a fleeing teenage criminal. The story is your standard cop drama. There's a big gang in London and Mitchell and his team chase various members of the criminal organisation all over town, trying to bring their operations to a halt. While this may seem pretty standard stuff in comparison to modern titles, Black Monday is quite ahead of its time for its cinematic style and its very well acted cutscenes, especially for a game released in 2004. Unfortunately, the cinematic direction does get in the way of the gameplay. The best way for me to explain The Getaway Black Monday is that it's a game that makes you feel like the worst policeman in the world. This title is a third-person shooter before Gears of War, which basically means it's a third-person shooter before everybody knew how to make third-person shooters. For example, the camera movement is quite bad, and it doesn't move with the character but instead lets you position yourself and then a second later it catches up with you, meaning you enter some rooms completely unaware that there are 3 enemies right in front of you. In addition to this, the cover system is pretty much what you'd expect from a third-person cover system in 2004. It doesn't feel snappy and precise, and sometimes it feels like it doesn't work at all. SCE did go all the way and try and make this feel like a movie by removing all the elements of the HUD. This means there's no life bar, no ammo counter, no map. In theory this sounds interesting, but the game suffers from missing these little additions as you sometimes are unsure of who you're actually aiming at, and it can sometimes be quite easy to get lost. The same cinematic experience also applies to the driving sections of the game, where instead of being directed through the streets of London via a waypoint, the car indicators subtly show you which turnings you need to take, which is sort of a nice touch. So far it sounds like I didn't have any fun with this game, but that isn't true. While the game's shoddy movement and unprecise aiming can be bothersome, the missions are actually quite short and sweet, and the checkpoint system is frequent, preventing you from getting too frustrated and replaying large sections of the mission all over again. Another positive to Black Monday is its presentation. As I mentioned before, the cutscenes are acted out very well. The character models and facial animations are impressive. It's very clear just how much effort SCE London put into trying to craft something that felt like it was more than just your standard filler video game narrative.
Blackout. Get him up. Pizda bashu nach. That's your big moment, huh? You tough guy, huh? You fucking pig.
I also have to give a mention to how well London is represented. While some of the landmarks, cars and other small items throughout the environment may be lost on those not native to the UK, the developer has done a great job of making the game feel authentic when it comes to its British setting. In all honesty, the 2 main feelings I got from this game was firstly one of hope, followed by disappointment. I love this game's style and presentation, even if it does feel like a knockoff of a Guy Ritchie movie, but my disappointment comes from the fact that I feel like I'm wrestling with the camera movement and it lets the game down massively. The team that developed this game clearly had a vision of a playable movie, and although I did enjoy working my way through the story and found the gameplay quite fun, I can't help but feel some of the HUD elements that were intentionally removed really could have helped make this good game a great one.